Everybody, it's Mimi, Stampin' with the Grandma Giggles. Boy, have I got a mess for you. Okay, tips and tricks on vellum. There's actually going to be a few things in this video that, more than just the vellum. But most importantly, I stole my husband's chair because mine makes too much noise. So he's going to watch this video and go, what? He has no idea. But he's at work tonight. As some of you know, he works nights. So anyway, this is the card. It says, enjoy the stillness of the season. And I just love the paper pack that this came from. It's feels like Frost Designer Series paper. And it's all a bunch of 6x6s and, you know, just some beautiful papers. And I use several of these for some other little things that I'm going to have a video on. It's stars. But look at the backs, you guys. It's all this beautiful silver foil. I mean, it's just a stunning pack. So I picked a couple out, and I'm actually gonna do a different color for this next card, but I want you guys to see some differences, some things you can do with the StampinUp Vellum that you can't do with other vellum. And I will tell you that StampinUp Vellum is the sturdiest vellum you can buy out there. And it's because it's not just vellum, it's vellum cardstock. Okay, so the order number on this is 101856. And the reason I say that is because this vellum, you can stick it in your cutter or your your cutter, your paper trimmer by Stampin' Up, their new one, by the way. And you stick it in here and, you know, trim away. You can also, believe it or not, which you can't do on a lot of other vellums, is you can use your scorer, this little score, I almost said tape. Anyway, you can score this and get the perfect card. So I scored this one. Now I was going so fast I kind of folded it crooked, but on this one you can see I didn't do it crooked. It was perfect. And then how did I get this to stick on this card? I'm going to show you, you know, without making any kind of, without noticing anything, you know, how is that done? How does it not show any kind of adhesive, right? So that's another thing we're going to talk about. Excuse me. You guys, I'm still hanging on to that darn cold. Can you believe that? Holy smoly. So if I take a couple of drinks, forgive me. It's just water. Just my smart water that you guys know I love. And I'll try to make it quick. So I went through this pack of papers. Feels like Frost. And I grabbed this. Let's see. I have another one here, I think. Unless I used it too. I might have used the other one too. Here you go. Oh, there it is right there. Okay. So what I did is, now on this card, I did it a little bit different than I'm going to do on the next card. And the vellum is actually the cardstock, as you can see. And then I cut the Seaside Spray cardstock down a little bit, and then the picture even smaller. So what this vellum is exactly cut in half. So it is 4 1/4 by 8 1/2. Okay, so you're going to have your, let me grab a piece for you so you can see. I tried to do everything ahead of time because I didn't want to, I mean, this video is already going to be long. But, so you have your 8 1/2 by 11, and you cut it directly in half at 5 1/2. And then you're going to score it at 4 1/4 because half of 8 1/2 is 4 1/4. All right? So, and then you can actually do this way or this way, whichever particular way you choose. You can use a whole different scene or do it this way instead of this way. But I liked this way because now I also have an extra piece. Not sure what I did with it, but I'll find it later. Oh, here it is. Oh, I lied. That wasn't it. So I've got such a mess here, you guys. I'm surprised I can find my head. Good thing it's attached, right? So anyway, okay. So let's get back to this. So what I did is this piece is 5.5 by 4.25. So my next piece is, on this one, we're going to use the purple. But this blue piece is 5.25 by 4. Okay, this little, the second piece right here. And then the picture is 5 by 3.75. Okay. On this card, I'm actually wanting this purple. It's called Gorgeous Grape cardstock. My favorite color is actually going to be the exact same size as my vellum this time. And I might have to cut it down a little bit because it won't go directly into the corner. So I should have done that before I went on here. But anyway, so this is also 8.5 by 4.25. Excuse me. Scored at 4.25. 5.5. 8. Oh my gosh, you guys, 8.5 by 5.5. Woo! Anyway, so how do I get this on here? Okay, so let me score this just real quick. And since I don't want to take out my big paper trimmer, I'm going to get this new little mini paper cutter that Stampin' Up! Came up with. And you get this if you sign up under me from June 3rd until I want to say, excuse me, January 3rd. I don't know why I keep saying June. January 3rd through, I think, June. Then this comes on top of all the stuff you get to order. Plus you get a sample pack of these papers, the papers in the January through June mini catalog. And then you get to pick out one, any stamp set you want, which is huge, you guys. I mean, it's like huge. So let's see if that's going to be enough, because there are some stamp sets that are worth quite a bit of money. So I encourage you to sign up on my team as of January 3rd. If you really want to do it now and get the holiday catalog items, that's okay too. I'm not going to stop you, but in January you get a whole lot more if you wait till January. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to have you wait until January. If you want, you don't have to. I'm all about having my team grow whenever they want to. Okay, so I've got this opened up. Okay, no, I don't have it opened up. I'm going to have it opened up. And I'm just going to make sure it still fits. I might be cutting some of the edges off, but I think for now we'll just go ahead and go with it. Okay, I like that. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put this on. Now, for time's sake, I'm going to go ahead and use my snail adhesive. But when you guys do your cards, I highly recommend using your tombow glue, because this is because of the metallic stuff on here, the metallic decorations. You're going to want to use something that's going to hold a little bit better. And for me, like I said, this is just for your guys' sake. We're gonna, let's see, can I eyeball this here? That's good enough for government, don't you think? I mean, you know, it's homemade, not Hallmark, right? So once I'm happy with this, which I am, that's just so pretty. Okay, so here's how we do this. Now, I'm going to move all of this stuff off of my little table here. There's kind of a lot of tips and tricks here that may take me a little bit longer to do than, you know, my normal videos. So what you want to do is you want to get your tombow glue and a sponge. I suggest using a regular sponge, not these. I ran out of my sponges, so I had to resort to these. And I'm going to clip this off because I want you guys to be able to see that this is okay if you have nothing else. But you're definitely going to want a regular sponge for this. And it just needs to be a little piece that you can kind of clip, okay? So what you're going to do, take your tombow glue and put a little bit in the middle there. And you may need more. I don't know. It depends on what you like or don't like. And then you got to make sure you work really fast after you do this because it'll dry really fast. And you just glide as far across as you can. And make sure you don't have any lines or anything. And you don't have to do it all the way to the bottom or all the way on the side because you're not going to have your paper all the way to the side, right? So here we go with this. Be right there. Got to move it a little bit too far. Oh, you guys, I totally blew this. I did so well with the blue one, but I totally blew this one. I'm going to show you anyway because I overdid it. And this is going to be a not so good card. But I'm going to show you anyway. I will totally redo this at a later time. But if you notice, you can't tell that there's any glue there, right? And that's because of this trick here. Now, you can also do the back. You probably will want to. That's what I did. But for this card, I've got to cut it up so at least it looks good because I'm struggling here. I'm usually a perfectionist with everything. So this is making me kind of crazy. Okay. I'm going to get this one. Now this machine is a lot easier to use than it looks. But I don't have a whole lot of strength in this hand still, which if you've been following me, then you know why. Okay, so there we go. At least it looks a little bit better for me. Okay. So the next thing I want to show you guys. Okay, so if you have vellum, this is another tip. You have, I've cut out some pieces here, pre-cut them. Vellum has two different sides. It has a softer side and a little bit of a, not really a sandpaper side, but it's a little rough, okay? When you color things, you can do two ways. You can do on the front or you can do on the back. I don't know if you guys can notice a difference, but when you do it on the back turns out darker than if you do it on the front. But when you flip it over, it's a whole different look. Now, if you're doing a light color like these blues in this card, see here, I did both of those on the back because it's a real light color and I really wanted it to be just very, very serene. You know, that kind of thing. Excuse me. But I'm going to use these two together. I'm kind of making them, you know, similar to the other one. And then the other thing that I'm going to do to show you guys, this is kind of another tip that we can use with this card. But the reason I like white ribbon, grab your snips out, cut it wherever you want, is I can color this ribbon any color I want. And that's with any white ribbon that Stampin' Up! Has to offer. Oh, to clean this, guys, let me show you what to do. I just grab a little wipey And I keep these on stock. All my kids and grandkids are older, so I don't have to worry too much. But you just wipe it off like with this regular little wipey here, and you're good to go. Just like that. And I'll take one of my drier ones and kind of dry it a little bit. And there you go. No glue. So you can take any pen. I actually prefer the blends, but I didn't have the Gorgeous Grape in my blends, so I'm just going to use this one. And you can color them. Any color you want. And if you don't want it this dark, use a lighter color. I happen to love purple, or in this case, Gorgeous Grape. It's my favorite color. And there you have a new ribbon. Okay, so there's your ribbon. I'm going to set it aside and let it dry up a little bit. And then again, take your wipey and just wash this off. There you go, all done. And that'll dry for a second as well. Okay, so I wanted to show you a couple more things with this vellum. So I wanted to try the green. I was actually thinking about using a green with one of these, but it didn't, I don't know, I didn't really care for it either way. So it's definitely more for a bold card, not a Serenity type card. And I had done these in that blue color that I used on the other card, because I was going to do the same exact card, and I thought, no, let's do something different so they can see two different things. And then another thing is when you have a flower would be beautiful with this, but I didn't do flowers. I don't know why. I just didn't do them. You can totally use your vellum. Now remember, I said this is vellum cardstock, so it is stronger and more durable than any other vellum out there. You can actually use your die cuts on this, and they come out gorgeous. I mean, it's just like these. Let's see if I can show you better on this darker paper here. See, they come out. I mean, it cuts beautifully. So there's no issues with cutting them. And what I did on this one is I did color this little guy blue. And if you want to give them a little bit of dimension, take your Stampin' Up! Bone folder and just kind of rub it through here. I will tell you, if you use your fingernails and you have yucky fingernails like I do, you'll leave a mark. So if you have really nice nails that you keep perfect, you could probably get away with using your fingernails to do this. And then, so I have my colored one here. And then I take my clear one, or one that has a bunch of detail. You know, if you have, say, a Gorgeous Grape piece of paper and a balmy blue piece of paper on top of it, you can die cut these. And you can also die cut a cardstock, a regular cardstock, with a vellum cardstock on top of it at the same time. I apologize, I wasn't prepared for that. I didn't think of it until just now, literally just now. So I'm going to grab some dimensionals. These are the ones out of a paper pumpkin kit. So it's not, you know, anything special. It's just, we have a roll of them that you can buy, which are really amazing. But another way to keep your vellum from showing is to stick these on. And then plop off the top of it. And stick these on top of each other, like that. Now, because I want to glam it up, I'm going to take some of my beautiful champagne rhinestone basic jewels, and I'm going to put the champagne rhinestone, the big one, right here in the middle. Whoops. Let's try that middle again. Right there. And then we have a multi-dimensional butterfly. And you can add as many layers as you want on here. And, you know, and if you don't like how far apart it is, or if you want it, you know, if you want it closer or further apart, Just take your bone folder and manipulate it till you have it where you want it. And then it's a very mellow butterfly for your card. Okay, now let's get over here. Did you know that you can emboss vellum? Right? You can't emboss other vellum, but you can Stampin' Up! Vellum. Unbelievable. So not only can you dry emboss it, you can heat emboss it. Can you believe that? Okay, so I'm going to show you, just because I think this is important for you guys to know. This is a big deal here. Being able to emboss vellum is a really big deal. So I'm going to take my handy dandy little sizzex Big Shot by Stampin' Up, which unfortunately we no longer sell, but we are going to get a new one in. So if you don't have one, don't be discouraged. There will be another one coming. I believe in the next annual catalog in June. If not, it'll happen soon. It's not going to be out there too awful long. So I thought I would show you this beautiful embossing folder. This is what you call dry emboss. And you're going to stick your vellum in however you want it. And then you stick it right here like this and like this. And run it through. Maybe. Oh, okay. That's a bigger one. I have to unload one of these. Oh, I might have to unload 2 of them. Oh. See, I didn't try this before. I should have done that, but that's okay. Oh my goodness, you guys. This is so stinking funny. I don't even know what to do right now. Okay, let's see what happens if I just, okay, yeah, I need something else over this. Put this little booger on here. See what happens. It's probably gonna kick me out. All right, there we go. Now hopefully that did its thing enough. All right, so I need a thicker paper to go in here. So I'm going to redo this, and I'm going to figure out how I can get this. See, this is why I try to do things ahead of time, you guys. So I don't end up going through this stuff and embarrassing myself. But as you know, I don't edit, so you guys get to see my mistakes. Isn't that awesome? Okay, let's see if this one goes a little bit better. I'm going to kind of go back and forth over it just to kind of double check and make sure we got it. All right. Oh, much better. Much, much better. I just needed another layer. So I'm going to fold this under here because then you guys can just see the good one. Move this out of the way. Bring up this beautiful purple cardstock here. Gorgeous grape. So you can see that. See, and it's just as beautiful as anything else. You can put this on the front or on the inside of a card or whatever you guys want. You know, make it yours. Do it however you want. So that's that tip for the dry emboss. Now for the heat emboss, let me show you here. A couple of things on the heat emboss. I made an example for you guys because I want you to see the difference between using your embossing buddy and not using your Stampin' Up! Embossing buddy. And this is the embossing buddy here, 103083. And this is what it looks like. It's just kind of a little, just some powder, chalk type powder. But anyway, so I'm going to do this purple paper again. This, you can't read it, but this is without using your embossing buddy. And you can't see it at all. You can't even tell what it says. Okay, now I used really small lettering, which you shouldn't do anyway, but, you know, I wanted you guys to see the reality. And this is with your embossing buddy. You see that? You see the difference? This one you can't read at all. This one you can at least read what it says. Okay? Enjoy the stillness of the season. So I want you guys to see how I do that. So you're going to take your Versamark from Stampin' Up. And you're going to use, I'm going to use this one again, even though I probably shouldn't. I should use something different that has bigger words so you guys can see it. And I'm going to take my embossing buddy, which I almost forgot to do just now, you guys. Take my little embossing buddy and rub it over this whole section right here. Okay. And then I take my little sentiment. And as you know, we have all kinds of different colors of embossing powder. So I'm going to take this and just put it right here. Make sure you get a good even stamp on it. Close up your Versamark. And take your glitter. I'm using shimmer white. So it's actually white with sparklies in it. It looks kind of silver in here, but it's really, whoops, turns out white. Okay. Make sure you give that a good few minutes there to stand on there. And then shake the excess off. Okay, that looks good. Cover it up. Move this out of the way because, you know. Now, forgive me, I don't have my Stampin' Up heat tool because I broke it. So I'm using a no name. But let's see, let's turn this like this so you guys can see. It does not affect our vellum at all. There we go, it's starting to turn. Can you guys tell? Okay. That easy, you guys. That stinking easy. That looks better with the paper under it, doesn't it? Okay. You can't even tell there's been any heat on this, right? Isn't that freaking amazing? That's like one of my best favorite things ever. Because I've tried it with other vellum paper, and let me tell you, it was a nightmare. It was really bad, you guys. So I'm glad that that's just really awesome that we can actually use that. So you've seen the two types of embossing, dry embossing and wet embossing, even though I made mistakes. And you've seen how I color ribbon. I think that's why I buy so much of this white ribbon. And Stampin' Up has a bunch of white ribbons. You can color any of the white ribbons any color you want. So if you want to match a card and you just don't have that color ink or that color of ribbon, you just color it, and it's just amazing. Okay, so let's get back to our card. So you're going to cut your paper. Oh, I might have already said this, but I think I did already say it, so forgive me, you guys. You're going to cut your paper, just to double check here, at 5 1/4 by 4 for this one. And then you're going to have enough for a bookmark. And I cut this part off here. And that's what I was looking for. I wanted to show you the bookmark that I had, or the extra piece that I had, so I can make a bookmark. But forgive our animals. As a lot of you know, I have a animal shelter. It's a positively adorable pet rescue no-kill shelter. So we always have animals, always. And this time of year, it's really bad because, you know, people drop their animals off because they can't handle them, or they want to, you know, save money or whatever. And so we get really, really full. But back to this. So this is our Delicata Silvery Shimmer ink from Stampin' Up. And I love this stuff. before I forget, I should probably clean this. I have a stamp cleaner, but sometimes I forget to bring it out, like now. So I just use a baby wipe, right? This one happens to be quite, this one has a lot of wet to it. So I need to, oof, this one's really gonna need some help. Probably from that Versamark, huh? I probably should have brought my little tool out. Little cleaning tool. Okay. I'm gonna do pretend on this real quick just so I don't mess up. No, no, you guys, no. Okay. All right. Let's do this. Oh, almost forgot to tell you guys what punches I've used. Holy smoly. Okay, so this is the Darling Label Punch. And it looks like that. The little twigs I used are called sprig. This is a sprig punch. It looks like this. The butterflies are from Butterfly Duet. They're a Butterfly Duet punch. Look, there's two of them. Aren't those pretty? And then I also have, but probably I'm not going to use on this particular card. This is the leaf punch. Okay. And here's that other piece of cardstock I was looking for. Isn't that pretty? I'm just going to use it as a bookmark. I'm going to punch a hole in it and then use it as a bookmark. I really like that. Okay, so back to this. And this block, this is one of the Paper Pumpkin blocks, you guys. If you get Paper Pumpkin every month, this is the first block you got in your first pack. Now, if you have not subscribed to Paper Pumpkin, you will get one of these in your first kit, and then you have to keep it because none of your other kits will come with one. So make sure you keep it. It says Paper Pumpkin on the side, so you know you can't forget. But the other blocks that we sell are super nice. Okay, so try and get midway through there. Well, I'm not sure I like that. So I think what I'm going to do, give me a few minutes, you guys. I'm going to look for my gorgeous grape. Which is in here somewhere. All right. My gorgeous grape ink pad. Cover this one up so it doesn't dry out. Yeah, let's see how we do with this one. And I'm okay with there being a little bit of silver on it, actually. Let's see how that turns out. Okay, so turn this over. Make sure you get it even. There we go, that's better. Looks like it's got a little sparkly on it. All right, let's turn this bad boy over. Make sure we get it closed because I'm notorious for keeping my inks open while I'm working, which is not good. Okay, I'm gonna clean this real quick like here. Just kind of give it a dab so it's not stuck on here permanently or anything. Okay, now this, this little Enjoy the Stillness of the Season comes from Stampin' Up's Merry Moose photopolymer set. So it's got Enjoy the Stillness of the Season, Have a Cozy Christmas, Happiest of Holidays, It's Beginning to Look a Lot Like Christmas, Merry Christmas. Isn't that cute? Oh my gosh. And then you got all these other little things. You get a tie for the moose and a hat Got some stars and your little raccoon here. Reminds me of that Disney movie, Pocahontas. And that little raccoon just follows her around all over the place. It's so cute. Alrighty, so let's move this. Let's get this off of here. Okay, now I actually like these, but I think I'm going to do something. I think I'm going to step it up a little bit. I'm going to grab some Wink of Stella. This is a new one, so I'm going to have to undo this whole thing. That's how you know it's new. It has a little black tip in the middle of it. And you shake it up. Give it a good little shake, shake, shake. Squeeze some of the beautiful glitter into it. Whoops. That's a little too much, huh? All right, so I'm just going to kind of go over this with some glitter. Excuse me, Wink of Stella. I don't have to be real precise or anything because it's just, it's really fast. It's super fast. So there's that. And on the lighter one, this one I kind of turned up with my bone folder because it, I wanted it to have a little bit of extra dimension. All right, now, I should probably, oh, done, no more. I am going to use, I think I'm going to use dimensionals for these. You can see it's not a big deal to use dimensionals when, if I can file, they're right here next to me. Use dimensionals when you're putting something next to each other. So I'm going to grab my Stampin' Up, take your pick tool, grab a couple of these little dimensionals here. And forgive me, you guys, my hands are shaky a little bit. Put one down here, and then pull the top off. Oops. Okay. We're just having a fun old time, aren't we? Okay. Then I'm going to, I'm going to take a drink because I'm losing my voice again. Okay. Mo better. Okay, so you're going to want to let this dry for a few minutes because I didn't, and I'm having a hard time with these sticking. So I'm just going to use some wet glue anyway, just to kind of make sure they stick. You don't need a bunch. You really don't. This stuff is super awesome. It'll stick whatever needs to be stuck. Okay. And then figure out where I want them. I think I want them kind of like this. Okay. Y'all, I just remembered through the whole first half of this video, I was calling my mini glue dots dimensionals. And I just wanted to make sure you guys understood dimensionals are these little things that pop your cards up a little bit. And the mini glue dots, these are the ones that come in your monthly paper pumpkin kits. But the regular mini glue dots come like this, and you just unroll it as you go. So I just want to make sure that you knew that I remembered that I was calling them by the wrong name. Anyway, also I forgot, I decided to go ahead and add the butterfly here. So, I don't know. I just put some Wink of Stella on it and decided to go ahead and add it. Anyway, back to the video. Bye. And then, my card down here. I'm going to put this up on some dimensionals. And actually, I think I'm going to use the bigger ones. I have the mini ones here, but I definitely think I'm going to use the bigger ones. So Stampin' Up! Dimensionals are my favorite. I don't have to put extra glue on them. I don't have to do anything extra. They just stick so good, you know? And we're going to reinforce this. See, so you know what? If you think you've made a mistake, don't worry about it. It's fixable. It's always, always fixable. Okay, I lied. I am going to use one of these little goodies in the middle. Very itty bitty middle here. Okay. Whoops. Well, I guess we're going to cover that spot. Oh, y'all, I tell you. You'd think that this would be a super easy video, and I'm just making it so hard. What the heck? Okay, enjoy the stillness of this season. We're going to stick that right there. And I like that a lot. And I covered up the little boo-boo that I had there, so we're good. Now, the other thing, I actually have these champagne rhinestones, but you know what, I'm going to look. Let's see what else we have in here. I don't really care for those. Oh, let's see what else we have here. Oh, I got some old Stampin' Up! Ones here. Actually, I think we might still sell those. So I shouldn't say old, I should say just older. And I've also got those. Those might be too much for my liking. We'll see. We'll kind of see how it goes. Let's see, what else do we have here? You guys, these cases, Stampin' Up! Sells these cases, and I use them, as you can see, for all of my goodies. I keep a couple extra blocks in here, and let's see, I think there's some purple rhinestones in here, maybe. There is. Not rhinestones. Sequins. Okay, there's those. Let's see what else we have in my little stash here. There's these. I don't know. I don't think so. And these ones are too dark, I think. Yeah. Okay. So I keep, you know, my rhinestones and stuff in these. I keep some of my dimensionals and glue dots, you know, my glue dots, my dimensionals. I got a bunch of different dimensionals in here. So they're great for storing stuff. All right, y'all. How about... I don't know. I think I want the more subtle one. But I might just put this one right here. Let's see. Let's try this and see what happens. How's that? Alrighty. There we go. So, I don't know if you guys know this, but you can also use your Stampin' Right markers or your blends to color your anything. I mean, you can these Stampin' Right markers and the Stampin' blends, they're amazing. You know, get them both because I promise you won't be sad. So I'm kind of liking this one for right there. It's not too much. It's just perfect in my opinion. So I'm going to get my Stampin' Up There we go. I'm going to put this one right there. All right, I'm going to give it just a smidge more color. Cool, kind of looks like diamond, like amethyst actually. All right, and then I'm going to put these, where do I want to put these? How about circles or flowers? Let's go flowers. And one more. Down here, I think. And if you don't like it, or you might want to add something different to it, well, let's just see how this looks. Ooh, look at that. Love my bling. Okay. They just needed a little background, huh? Whoops. Alrighty. Now for our ribbon. So, remember that ribbon we colored? So we're just going to take it. Whoopsie. I don't know if you all have, whoops. All right, you guys. I have the hardest time trying to tie ribbon. I'll tell you what. I had someone show me a trick, and I'll be danged if I can even remember what she showed. Oh my gosh, really? Here we go again. I can't remember what she showed me. And I know that it's fun and easy, and I'm just kind of all fingers here. Oy vey. Come here, little ribbon. Come here. Come here. Don't go there. I need you. Oish. Hey, puppies, stop. He's embarrassing me, silly thing. Whoops, wrong one. Alrighty, so kind of round this up a little bit. Round this up a little bit. I think I'm going to pull this one a smidge shorter. Alright, and then cut these little ends off here. Oops. Get myself a little glue dot. Put it right on the back. Now you can actually use your tombow glue if you want, but for me, these Stampin' Up! Glue dots are awesome, and so it is super easy to work with them. And I really enjoy working with them because they're so easy. You can just do anything with these things. I'm telling you, just Stampin' Up! Makes everything easy. That's all I can say. So there's that. Let's get this piece up here a little bit rounder. And I want you guys to remember, just because I'm doing one color doesn't mean that you have to. You guys do what you want. You know, I want to really encourage you. I think I kind of wiped some of this off with my hands. I'll bet you I did. So I'm looking at it going, wait a second, I didn't want that. Look at my fingers, you guys. This is what happens every time. I get so crazy. Okay, there is a sweet little card. You can choose to put something on the inside if you want. But this is it. It's my mistake card, but you know, it's okay. I'll put it in my, you know, stash of, oh crap, I can't believe I did that, cards. And again, you guys can make these any color you want. This just happens to be, I use my favorite colors, and what I should have done is I should have stuck with, you know, what I did. Because I love this one. I really do love this one. And it just is so peaceful to me. For especially, you know, like if you have friends that have lost someone this time of year, you know, this is just a really pretty choice. And like I said, I think I might not have told you guys, I use Seaside spray on this, the cardstock Seaside spray. And I ended up, instead of using the silver Delicata ink, I ended up using the gorgeous grape ink on this, which looks really pretty. So, yeah, I am happy with this card, other than my little boo-boos. And then I showed you guys how to sponge on your tombow glue. I told you that our vellum is thicker than any other out there. I showed you how to color on the back or even the front, and that, you know, depending on what you're going for, the look you're going for, if you want the darker or the lighter, you know, you can color on whatever side you choose. You know, personally, if you're going for a lighter look, color on the back, the color you want, make it a little bit darker, and then it turns out a lot lighter. So that's just kind of personally for me. You can emboss it, both dry emboss with your sizzex Big Shot, and you can heat emboss with your heat tool from Stampin' Up. I mean, there's so much. And then, you know, you want to make sure you use your embossing buddy, because that is really, really, really important. The other things that we showed you, you can use your framelits and your thinlits to cut out your little pieces of, say, butterflies or whatever, you know. I'll just show you this one just because it happens to be already colored in. But you can punch out with your thinlits or your framelits, and you can use your punches, you know, any of your punches like this. I mean, there is this stuff is so versatile. The vellum from Stampin' Up. There's just a bunch of things you can do. And don't forget the layering, you guys. You can layer these, and I've seen it done using flowers. It is amazing. And when you're using your framelits, they cut all the inner pieces out for you as well. And then you have a solid piece of paper behind it. It's stunning, you guys. It is absolutely stunning. And I could probably throw this on here, right around here or something. But I think it looks a little bit more wintry without the butterfly. So, this shimmer white Stampin' Emboss powder is what I used. And it looks silver, but it's actually white with the silver in it. I used your Stampin' Up Take Your Pick tool. I used my Stampin' Up bone folder, which needs help. You're going to want to order the Stampin' Up sponges because, you know, if this is all you have, you know, go for it. But you're going to have to cut it off with each use because this does tend to fall apart. And that's the reason why. See, like right here, that's what it does. It's not real sturdy. And your sponge is much sturdier. And you can cut it down into pieces. I used the Stampin' Up Champagne Rhinestone Basic Jewels, which are absolutely gorgeous. I used the Feels Like Frost Designer Series paper, DSP. I used the punches. Leaf Punch, Butterfly Duet, the Sprig Punch. I'm sorry, you guys. I told you. I warned you. And the Darling Label Punch. And then I used the Stampin' Up! Big Shot along with, you're going to want the Stampin' Up! Heat tool, the heating tool, because you guys will absolutely love it. It is so much nicer than the other one I had to use tonight. I'm really bummed that my heat tool is broken. I knew better than to let it go out of my sight. But anyway, it is what it is. And then Tombow glue, your glue dots, your Stampin' Dimensionals, and Wink of Stella, you guys. This is like my new favorite tool ever, is the Wink of Stella. I use it on pretty much everything. But if you guys know me, you know that I love glittery, sparkly stuff. So, now that I've stolen my husband's chair, and you guys got to hear all the obnoxious barking from our shelter animals, and hopefully you guys have learned what not to do as well as what to do. I'm going to say goodbye and hopefully get this posted tonight or maybe tomorrow. We're in the middle of a storm, so it may take a while. So stay tuned. I have another project coming up tomorrow. Bye.